Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. I want to give God thanks today for another opportunity to share with you a passage from his holy book, the Bible. I am Pastor Bartholomew L. John, and I am with Life Renewal Gospel Ministries in Orlando, Florida. I am grateful that you have chosen to join me. My text this morning will be coming from the book of Genesis, chapter 28, and I'll be reading from verse 10 through 17. I'll be reading from the King James Version. Beginning at the 10th verse, it reads, "And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took off the stones of that place, and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it, and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and said, How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." May God bless the reading of his word. The theme for our message, God is there even when you don't know it. Yes, God is there even when you don't know it. And here are some relevant scripture verses. Many of us have experienced that feeling, wondering if God is with us, wondering if God is there in our trials, our testing, our tribulations, our sicknesses, and our probably financial struggles or relationship struggles. We're wondering, is God there? Do you feel God is with you when you have just committed the worst act that you could imagine. And now you are facing the consequences. Do you believe that God is there when your conscience, your guilty conscience, is just killing you from some sin or other activities that you know that is wrong? Do you feel God is there where you are right now, in that place, in that situation that is falling apart? Can you feel His presence? And many of us can experience that we don't believe God. We cannot see God. We don't think He's there with us because our conditions are so messed up. God would not be part of that. And sometimes we look at other situations and we say God cannot be in that situation. Well, I want us to look at Jacob's experience. And maybe we'll have a different perspective. And I hope at the end of this sermon, you will be absolutely sure that God is there regardless of the situation. He is there even when you don't know He's there. He's there when you can feel He's there. He's there when you can see Him. And I want you to be at peace that God is there with you if you believe in Him. In our text, verse 10, we find that Jacob is on the move. The Bible tells us he's going from his home, Beersheba in Canaan, and he has a long journey to Haran. Haran is the same as Pandan Aram. And he is alone. He's going, leaving his mother's and father's house alone. But he is not just going there on a vacation. He is running for his life. Back in chapter 27 of Genesis, we have the detail how that Jacob's mother, Rebekah, had schemed with Jacob to defraud Isaac, to defraud Esau, his brother, from the blessing from his father Isaac. I want you to read that story. Isaac's eyes were dim because of age and could not really see. But Jacob's mother, Esau's mother, the mother Rebekah, schemed and allowed Isaac to bless Jacob instead of Esau. And it was a deceptive scheme. It was an act of just fooling the father. And many of us don't see God in those deceptions. I'm not saying that God condones deception, but God is sovereign and He will use whatever means He needs to accomplish His will in our life. You see, Jacob got the blessings. He was a younger brother. He should not have. Esau was his older brother. By right and tradition, the blessing belongs to Esau. But God does not always follow the traditions of men. Back in Genesis 25, when Rebekah was pregnant, she had twins, and those two fetuses, they were struggling in the baby. The two babies were in the womb, struggling among themselves. And the prophet told Rebekah and Isaac in chapter 25 of Genesis, verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, that's Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. You see, God had already ordained a change in the tradition. Esau should have been the one with the birthright and the blessing, but God wanted to bless Jacob. He's God. He does whatever he wants to do. He's sovereign. And God had to devise a plan to accomplish his will. And sometimes God uses methods that we believe is sinful. For man is sinful, but not for the sovereign God, who will hold him account. And so when Jacob got the blessing, it was God's will. And God was there, even in the deception. But now Jacob must face the consequences. His brother Esau is about to take his life. And so his parents advise him to run. Sometimes you have to know when to run. You have to know when to fight. And this was a time for Jacob to run. And so he's on the road. He's going to his uncle Laban for refuge and rescue from Esau. He's not sure he will see his parents again. He's not sure he'll see his brother again. He's not sure he will return to his native land. And sometimes we find ourselves in those situations. We had to give up something precious because of consequences. And we're wondering, is God there with us? Is he there when I messed up? Is he there in my marriage that is falling apart because of my actions? Is he there in the house I'm losing now because of circumstances? Is he there in my sickness that I caused by my negligence? Is he there? And I'm going to tell you today that God is there with you if you believe him. He is there with you when you cannot feel him. He is there with you when you do not know he is there. So we're back to Jacob. He has a long journey, and now he stopped for the night in a place called Luz. Luz means almond. And there is nothing there. It's the woods. And Jacob went to sleep. And let's pick up his actions in verse 11 of Genesis 28. Verse 11. And he lighted, that's Jacob, he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took up the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. Verse 19 told us that place was called Luz. He will change it to Bethel after God's encounter with him. And while he was lying on that stone, would have been cold outside, wild place, nothing there, he had a dream. He had a dream. God revealed himself to Jacob in a dream. And in verses 12 to 13, and he dreamt, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of the ladder reaches to the heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on the ladder. And behold, the Lord stood above it. That's a dream, that God is at the head of the ladder, and his angels, who are ministering spirits, that's who they are, messengers of God, are going back and forth from heaven to earth. God is involved with what goes on earth. He is God of the universe. And he sent his angels, and they're reporting back to God as they accomplish their missions. And that's a beautiful dream. And the angels are going up and down, busy. And God is at the top of the ladder. And Jacob realized when he woke up that the presence of God is there. And we find that as he woke, he said, but God spoke to him before he awoke. God said, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac. The land where thou liest, that spot where you are, that land where you lie, where you're sleeping now out in the cold, I will give it to thee. To the north, to the south, to the east, and to the west. And verse 14 and 15, he made a promise in verse 15. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into the land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. Imagine you on the run for your life. This is the worst condition you could find yourself in, kicked out of your hometown, just been terminated from your job, just lost something precious, and you are in a sunk. Things are bad, and you are going over your options, and they are not good. And you went to sleep in a strange place, not knowing where your future leads. And God appears to you and make those promises to you. I will bless you and I will prosper you. I will bless you. Yes, you who have just done this great atrocity in your eyes. God said, yes, you, I am with you. I will bless you and I will prosper you. He said to Jacob, I will give you guidance and guardianship. I will guard you, I will guide you, and I will protect you in your going in and in your coming out. You're going out and you're coming in. I will protect you. I will be with you. I will hold your hands and I will take you to that place, to your destination, and bring you back. And then I guarantee the work that I begin in you, I will not leave you until it is complete. And you, at your worst moment, you believe everything is gone. Your future is gone. And you don't know that God is there. You can feel him there. You cannot see him. You cannot sense him. And you think God has already abandoned you and punished you to doom for what you have done. And God is saying, no, I am with you. I am there with you. My plans for your life will be achieved. I am God. And you may not know God that way, but he knows you. And God has plans for your life. Those plans will be accomplished. And God will use any means he needs to accomplish his plans. Jacob, verse 16. Verse 16, he awoke from his sleep. And he said, surely the Lord is in this place. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. You see, Jacob is not saying that God is not everywhere. God is omnipresent, everywhere present at the same time. Jacob knew God through his father, grandfather, and father. He knew God. He knew God was all-powerful. He knew God was everlasting. He knew God was all merciful. He knew God was all loving. He knew all the attributes of God. But Jacob did not expect to find God. He did not expect God to find him. Not in laws, those almond trees, in the woods, no synagogues, no choir, There is no temple, nothing going on. And he did not expect God to be in that desolated place. And sometimes when we find ourselves in a desolated place, we don't think God is there with us, but he's there. He's right there with us, even if you don't know it. And Jacob looked at himself, and Jacob must have said, my God, what a God. God is here, and I did not know it. How many of us right now are in Jacob's place, are in Luz, among the almond trees, with our conscience heavy, with our guilt bearing us down, because we have done things against God? We believe. We don't know God is in it. We don't know if God is with us. He don't abandon us. God don't want to see us anymore. But that's not the God I know. That's not the God I'm speaking to you about. The God of mercy and the God of grace. He's there with you when nobody else understands you. He's there with you when things are falling apart. God is there with you when your mother and father forsake you, then God will bear you up. God is there with you when your best friend will not forgive you. God is there. God is there with you. Even if you have lost a precious soul, God is there with you. If you are listening to my voice, it means that you still have an opportunity. That God had spared your life. Maybe you going through the worst sickness in your life, the most depression in your life, the most anxiety in your life. You're more pain than ever before, worries that you have never faced, financial demises that you did not expect, family turmoil that you did not plan for, and you're wondering, is God is there? You have made a terrible decision, and now you are not where you used to be with God. You have lowered your bar, and you're wondering, has God turned his back on you? And God is there, even if you don't know it. You have to move from your place of abode. You have to move to a new city, a new town, a new family, a new church, a new job. It doesn't matter where you go, God is there. You can feel him. God is there with you. And don't you ever doubt that. And you have to hold on to this truth that God is there when you cannot feel him. God is there when you don't know it. He's there. In 2nd Chronicles, the 16th chapter, verse 9a says, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. God's eyes is roaming through and through the earth, looking to show himself strong in behalf of those who trust him. His eye is like the big camera, big brother, watching, scanning to show himself strong in our behalf. God is there when your heart is broken, when you have failed. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. God is there. You can't do what you want to do right now. You're wondering if you're ever going to be able to do God is there. He's there. I am convinced that God is there and God is here. And you can say to yourself, God is here even if I don't know it. Because you are his child. You are his child. He will never leave you nor forsake you. God was with Hagar in the book of Genesis, the 21st chapter. Hagar had the mistress, the slave of Abraham and Sarah. And you could read, Sarah had devised a scheme where Hagar now had a child. And Hagar is in the wilderness because the family feud. She's in the wilderness by herself and her son Ishmael, Abraham's firstborn. So she knows God is not there. She believed that. The son is going to die. Water, no water. She's in the wilderness. The boy is crying. The child is crying. He's going to die. She believes that. Verse 17. God heard the voice of the lad. He's there. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of the heaven and said unto her, What aileth thee? What's your matter? What is wrong with thee? God, divine involvement in our life. In our lives, God is involved in your life. But you're not serving him. He's involved. He's there. Pastor, I'm not doing what God is there. He's still there. He will always be there. Life Renewal Gospel Ministry, God is there. And I must believe that, and you must believe that. In your ministry, God is there. In your home, God is there. In your circumstances, God is there. He's there. Tell yourself, God is here. God is here. Even if I don't know it. The angel called her to Hagar. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? And she said, my boy is going to die of starvation. And God said, no, I'm here. I'm here. He's not going to die. Arise. Lift up your eyes. Behold. Lift up your eyes. Hold up your head. Hold up your head. God is there in the city, in the country. God is there overseas. God is there in your house. God is there under the house, on top of the house, in your car. He's there. On your sick bed, in the nursing home, he's there. In the hospital, he's there. In the jailhouse, you might be in jail for something you have done. God is there. Don't you give up. Don't you doubt. He is there. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And I want us to be confident that God is here, even if I don't know it. Right now, I may not know how deep your situation is. I may not understand. No one else understands. But I want you to know the God of Isaac, the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob, that God who showed up for Jacob when he was at his worst moment, will show up for you. Hold on. Hold on. The rent is due. Hold on. The mortgage is due. Hold on. The car payment is due. Hold on. The report is negative from the doctor. Hold on. Believe God is there. He will see you through. He made a promise to Jacob, and we can claim that promise that God made to Jacob. I will bless you. I will prosper you. I will guide you. I will protect you. And I will be with you until your work on earth is done. No matter what you're going through today, just believe God is there, even if you don't know it. And guess what? Now you know. So you and I won't say what Jacob said. We're going to say, God is here and I know it. May God bless you. May God keep you safe. Until next time. Shalom. Peace.